Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to have you on the show yet again. I am here with a Chelsea fan that is now threatening to stop supporting Chelsea. These are the fake fans we talk about. Jagero,
you can say whatever
you need to. You need to say.
like I told you, Peter.
Yes.
Madueke was.
Why are you talking to Peter now? Who started the?
Because you think I'm the mediator here.
Yes. Madueke was playing for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Good
He
cop,
left.
bad cop.
He left, and he's now playing for Arsenal. The tall guy that is now being useless at.
But he's not even good at Arsenal again. So.
The tall guy. What is his name? The one at Arsenal. What is his name? Yes, the one that was in Germany. What is his name? The one that Nani was talking about yesterday. That is very bad. That you expect him.
Havertz.
Yes, Havertz. He was at Chelsea. He left, and now
No,
he goes to.
but-
And now he goes to.
But Kai Havertz is not bad. He's gotten very crucial goals.
No,
for
I'm
Arsenal.
talking about. It is the fan that was saying here that is not that good. I'm just telling you.
You're reporting
I'm just
what was
reporting.
said. Okay.
See now. And I end at Arsenal. He plays, scores. Alafu anabusu badge.
Ati sasa anapanda ya
Like what?
He's home.
I am the one who is not being paid to be a fan. I'm the one that is not that is not anywhere close to their stadium.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who is sitting at their VIP seat. I am the one who should stick.
Jagero, you're the true
Loyalty.
definition
No.
of mafans
Loyal.
ndio wanaumia.
No, I do not. I have not loyal.
But this is all the last.
As a matter of fact, I was considering leaving. And considering leaving when they actually booted Abramovich from the club.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I had a feeling that was the beginning of the downfall. And yesterday when I was watching Chelsea,
You could not
and
recognize it.
then saw what has happened to Leicester,
Yeah.
I was like, Chelsea can just go this route. Actually.
It can happen. There's not even Spurs. You see where they're going.
Because
at the
they
moment.
say that the toughest thing is to go down to the championship and come back up.
How do you
So
come?
it's-
Teams
it's
just
so-
go and
it's so-
disappear.
You do not come. It takes other teams to actually go back, because the moment you slip in there,
Yeah.
all your best players go.
Yeah.
When Chelsea is relegated, you don't expect Estevao to be there
Yes.
with them in the grass.
Fernandes.
Yes.
Enzo Fernandez is not even expected to be. In fact, I do not think that we should be playing. How could that guy have our badge yesterday? Enzo Fernandez.
When
he should not have the badge.
When he said that he
No,
loves
no. Let me
Madrid,
ask
you
Peter.
guys-
Peter. No.
He should not play actually.
Jagero, is that the way you are avoiding me?
No, because you are not serious. You are not serious because we really can't afford somebody who just said 1 month ago that he doesn't want to play at Chelsea to captain the team.
And to add on top of that, the agent
Yes.
came out and talked bad about the club.
Yeah.
And said, Enzo is being paid less money that
Yeah.
they're supposed to be paid.
Yes.
I think, and then
No.
later on they come
And then he said that
come
he
out and
loves
say-
Madrid and he was in trouble.
And
like people can't just love cities anymore.
in any case, he's dubious. I don't think he's going to play at Madrid. In Madrid, I mean, who is he going to remove from that team? Let's be honest.
Real Madrid doesn't have a lot of midfielders actually.
No,
And
but
there is
but
one.
but the ones that are there, is he better than the other one that was given a red the other day?
Kamavinga.
Is he better than him?
He's better
He's
than-
No,
not.
you can't compare with
He's
Kamavinga.
better than Camavinga.
He's not.
No, Kamavinga is on his own level.
Yeah.
That guy, even in attack, he supports.
You cannot. If you want to know that he's bad, look at the kind of passes he was giving
I
yesterday.
keep telling
The
you.
Real Madrid player.
I keep telling you,
Leo
if
even
you're to
unaruka Enzo
have,
Fernandez.
I've never loved him.
if you're to have,
He's racist. Is he not the one that was singing in a bus against some African team? Was he not?
It was him.
Yes.
The French, the black French.
Yes, he's the one.
Players.
Very interesting.
So anyway,
Jagero, you're clearly pissed off though.
no, I don't like what is happening with Chelsea, and I'm considering leaving, and I'm going to leave.
But that's my problem.
I am.
This is not the-
Yeah.
this is not the first time Chelsea
What will
suffered.
you tell your daughter one day when things get thick?
No, she can.
Is she supposed
She
to
can
run?
support. She can support Arsenal. I
No,
don't.
let's leave soccer alone.
Okay.
Because these are
Okay. Ask your
principles
question.
that apply in
Okay.
life.
Ask your question.
Yeah?
What is the question?
So one day,
Bunga.
So one day,
Okay.
Maya is going through some tough season.
Okay.
And you know, you're a Christian like me.
Mm-hmm.
So our brother James tells us
Okay.
that count it all joy when you go through trials,
Okay.
because your faith is being built.
Okay.
You're becoming resilient. It's like if you have a child and they've been suffering kahoma here, aka cold there, aka headache the other side, they're building their immunity as the body fights.
Okay.
But the child that has never become sick, the day they are sick, it's really bad.
All right.
So, in your example here, and I'm bringing this up because children don't listen, they see.
Okay.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do.
So the day that there's a tough situation,
Okay.
and she's like, even my dad would say, I just walk away.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
First of all, I don't think that this is. I think you're comparing apples and oranges. Because I don't feel like this is nutmegs and VR that if you're not able to hit 1,000 subscribers in 1 month, you walk away. I think there your reasoning applies. That we have to be there and keep doing the show and make it comfortable and make it enjoyable to people, so that people can actually, so that we can have 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
But I don't think it is the same as sticking to a team that has no identity. I no longer recognize Chelsea since they were Abrahamovich was booted from the club. Since the lady, what is her name, Marina or what? Marina was booted from the club. So many people left the club at that point. Chelsea actually has 2 billion British pounds that is frozen by the British government.
Yes.
That if that were to be unlocked, we would do wonders with that money. We will have a brand new
But that
stadium.
money is supposed to go to charity.
Why?
That was the agreement they had with Abramovich. That they
But also the agreement was that it is supposed to go to the charity on everybody that is affected in the war, whether they are Ukrainians, whether they are Russians. But the British government believe that only the Ukrainians, the money should only be charitable towards the Ukrainians and not the Russians. But everybody is dying in that war. But anyway, that is political. Probably that corrupt FIFA president will ban the channel.
But you see, Jagero, if next season, for example, you start supporting Manchester City,
Okay.
and probably Pep has left,
Okay.
and they start going down the way
They are not they are not going down.
I'm saying an example.
Okay.
Let me
I'm
tell
saying
you.
an example.
Let me tell you. The reason
not giving me
I
a
have
chance
had
to
you. And this is what I want to tell her, Peter.
Yeah.
You're talking to Peter again.
I want to tell you that the reason why Manchester City is that good as a club is not only dependent on the coach.
Yeah, that is true.
It is also dependent on the structures, the belief, the seriousness of the owners of that club.
Yeah.
They sit down, they dialogue, they talk about what is good for the club, not what an American owner feels is good for the club.
Yeah.
You see, they understand that Pep understands football.
Yeah.
And so they are going to allow Pep to actually make them understand what needs to be done.
Yeah.
If we want the gentleman that joined just the other day, Shaki, or the other one that you love so much, Semenyo, that is on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to say, okay, this is what I think, and this is how the club should go ahead and do this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody listens. The club listens and says that, okay, we are not actually favored by the FA.
Yeah.
And so this is the battery of lawyers we should have on our side to make sure that we delay all these cases against us as much as possible. So it is a whole infrastructure.
Yeah.
But
The plan, the vision, transition.
And you've talked about it. So let me just throw a spanner in the works. So you move to City next season.
Yeah.
And some leadership changes somewhere, and someone comes up with that ruling. Those are 115 charges that we've been waiting for forever. And they're deducted points, and it goes way back, and they start even losing because, Arsenal are waiting for that, when that ruling will happen and what that means for them. And all of a sudden,
That is how Arsenal
They-
wants to have the league. So Arsenal is like Morocco.
that's for them to defend.
So,
but
Arsenal
it's a
is like Morocco.
conversation. It's a conversation on the table.
Uh-huh.
And probably next year, they're doing so well. They're likely to defend the title, assuming they go ahead and win it this season.
Who?
They're defending the title. I'm talking about
City.
your new love life.
Yes.
Uh-huh. At some point during the season, this ruling comes in, points are deducted, and they are automatically getting relegated.
Okay. But
What's next?
that's why we have how many teams in the league?
19.
20.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have 20. So if
So you will pick another one. This is the problem I have. Anyway, let's go to the stats yesterday.
yeah.
And I think for me, it was a sure win for Brighton. And
Who are now
I was
sixth,
not
by the way.
disappointed anyway. 54% possession for Brighton. Chelsea had 46%. They could have done something with that if they wanted to. I just think they didn't want it enough.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
Because when we beat Chelsea, we had even less than this in terms of possession. Chelsea had all the ball. We were just waiting for the moment that came, and it was punished. So for me, it's never about possession, because you can even have 80% and the team with 20% scores one goal and they win. They get all the 3 points. Now, shots, total shots, Brighton had 16, Chelsea had only 6. Where do you think the problem is, aside from your striker, the man of the moment, Mr. Dilap?
There's so many problems in that Chelsea team. Like
Yes.
I was watching that game with Jaguero and even went home and watched the second half. It starts from the goalkeeper. If the problem
The
is
goalkeeper we know,
if your problem starts from the goalkeeper, then
the guy without legs.
there's a big issue for you in the Premier League. You saw when you had Onana on goal. You
Yes.
saw how we suffered.
Yeah.
So the defense, I don't know if it's a lack of organization or planning or like they just make very easy mistakes,
Yeah.
which are very costly in a league like Premier League, whereby
Yeah.
any mistake you get punished for it.
Yes.
So
There was even one that was saved actually, where Sanchez released
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ball
in the first half.
and a Brighton person picked the ball
Yeah.
and played it back, but now the defender came
In
and
fact,
cleared. You remember that
he
one,
should
right?
not have passed it.
Yeah.
Should not have passed if he had
Yeah.
not passed the ball, then it would have been a goal.
So I think what Chelsea need to do, I think this summer they really need to sit down and consider what they can do as a club. Not even changing the manager will help them. They need to look at the project. Is
They
it
need an
working?
overhaul.
Is it working? Is it what is the problem? Because I don't think the
Because-
problem is just the manager.
And I think also this conversation has to be had hand in hand with the fact that they have that
Transfer ban.
it's coming in another 2 years.
Yeah.
So this is the window for them to build
Yeah.
what will carry them through those 2 seasons, so that in those 2 seasons, they don't end up in championship and then end up in League One.
Like Leicester.
Like Leicester
Yes,
City.
I saw those photos. It's-
With a Premier League title,
But I thought
now
that-
playing
I-
in League One.
I thought the gentleman that was left after the dad's demise had some heart in soccer. What became of him? Because
bad
you remember
decisions.
there was a time that the English press was really celebrating him, that he was always in the field, that he's going to take after his father.
Yeah.
That was just a mourning period for everybody.
Yeah, maybe it's that moment where you really want to take on this, but once you're in there, you realize it's bigger than you thought.
But look at. Do you know in 2019 Leicester was fighting for top 4 in the Premier League?
Yeah,
That is around 7 years ago.
yeah.
But you look at around 3-4 years after that, they never signed any quality player in their team. You only used to see Vardy, same players every season. And then
So Vardy has gone down with them over there.
Vardy left, I think, last summer when they got relegated. He went to Italy. But they didn't adjust to.
There's no name in that
They
team
didn't
that
improve
you
the
know
quality,
now.
everything. So that's how they got relegated, and
Yeah.
now they're getting the League One.
Relegated further.
Yeah, and if you and that is the fate
you
that
don't invest in your
if that is
squad,
the fate that is going to befall Chelsea, because now Palmer is looking at the team and saying, I mean, how am I going to be banished and I'm not going to play?
I'm gonna win by the door.
Because for me, I thought they were going to be in Celta Vigo on a Thursday night. I thought they were going to be in Portugal somewhere. I thought they were going to be in Norway somewhere, one of those difficult names.
Yeah.
Or Greenland. Turns out they're going to be...
After this match week, you might be on page 2.
Do you know how Chelsea can qualify? There's only one way Chelsea can qualify for Champions League.
Champions League?
Yeah.
No.
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Uh-huh.
If Aston Villa wins the Europa League, Chelsea finish 6th.
They're not finishing 6th.
That's the only way.
They're not finishing 6th.
If Nani comes, we might finish 6th. If we have Estevao back and we have and we have the other guy back.
It's not about the players. It's about putting together a winning mentality.
Yeah,
Which-
but it is not that we can actually still be in Conference League or Europa. If we win all our games, we'll be there. See, we are 6.
Which ones are you winning? All of them.
And to make it worse,
But you are. I mean, you underestimate Chelsea too much.
I don't underestimate.
I think
Chelsea.
you underestimate.
I focus
And you
on-
have a problem with underestimating teams.
No.
Because that is the same way you underestimate Arsenal.
Which prediction have I gotten wrong? After
Yeah,
tonight,
it-
Man City will be position 1. You can take that to the bank.
Burnley.
Position 1.
Yes.
If they beat
They have
After tonight,
They have a bigger goal, superior goal
the
difference.
difference is 1.
One
City
goal.
will score at least 2 goals. I promise you.
But even if they score 2 goals, Arsenal still
They'll
remains
be
on top.
level on points.
Level
And then
on
now
points, but
City
goal
just
difference.
needs to have a better goal difference. The difference is only 1.
And then Arsenal has to play 2 games ahead of them again.
No,
Yeah,
now it will be
no,
33,
no.
33.
Yeah.
That is
No. I'm saying that in the next several games, Arsenal is going to play because they are playing something in the weekend with Southampton,
What?
City,
No, City are playing in the
FA Cup.
FA Cup.
with Leeds. With who?
Oh, no.
Southampton.
Southampton, yes. Southampton.
Yeah, that is FA Cup.
Yes. So when Arsenal is going to play, Arsenal
So
might go
Arsenal
ahead of
is
them
going
again.
To play the weekend, and then they might go ahead, but now City will still have the game in hand. But we're just saying tonight, City might be on top by the time.
Which is
midnight.
hard to understand.
Exactly.
Given the kind
So,
of
Agero,
play, the kind of
stop
accumulation.
dismissing the things I say. They are very factual.
No, you
They are
can't
very
talk.
factual.
You can't talk about
You see,
fact. You can't talk about. You can only
see,
talk after the fact.
But you're not allowing me. You see, like last night, Chelsea had 0 shots on target. Brighton
They
had
didn't.
9. 0 shots on target. The last 5 games for Chelsea,
They're
they
not-
have not scored a single goal.
The Premier League.
How do you win?
That's
The last time they
How do you win games? By scoring goals. And then you're telling me you will win all the remaining.
You're really enjoying this. You're really enjoying this. But how many enemies in football do you have, though? You seem to hate Manchester City, hate Manchester Arsenal.
No,
You don't like Chelsea?
No, mine is not hate.
The biggest problem is Chelsea.
Mine is picking facts, and then people
Yeah, but you relish.
assume it.
You relish. You seem to relish the failure of Arsenal. You relish the failure of
Chelsea.
Chelsea. I don't know what's going on there.
I just enjoy when people have these very big ambitions, and then the reality is something else, and I'm like, dude, calm down. Calm down.
But for me, I would not want Chelsea to go to Champions League. There is no need. But I know they can do really, really well in Europa League and Conference League next
They
season.
can even go there and win.
Yes,
If
they can.
If they get in there, they
gonna
will
win.
But
win
this
a
is
trophy.
this is a serious. We are at a serious place. If you
Yeah.
look at the Premier League table,
Yeah.
like
There's Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton in your neck.
oh my God.
Only
Yeah.
2 points separate those two.
Because actually, the only thing that
Because
is-
right now Everton, Chelsea is number 7.
yes,
Look at Brentford and
Look at that. Look at that. Look, it is the only team with 5 games. It is the only one. It is the only one on the table.
but I told you, and those losses are with Chelsea not scoring a single goal.
This is looking
And
terrible.
then yesterday you had zero shots on target.
Looking
So
forlorn.
when you tell me you're going to win
This
all
is-
your remaining matches, I'm like,
Okay,
And I think-
who are we playing next? Let me check. That one of we are playing Leeds.
Leeds,
Then
you're not winning against.
Then we are playing Nottingham Forest.
You are not winning that one as well.
Relegation survivors.
I promise you, you will just finish on the second page
Which is
around 12, 13.
I think they'll finish 8th or 9th up. I don't think they're going to lose all the games.
So, because you see, these teams that are following them, the Brentfords, the Bournemouth, the Everton, the Sunderland, and then Fulham.
they're going to win their games.
Yes.
They will win their games. Like, for example, if you look at, they are playing Crystal Palace, and there is a big chance they can win against Crystal
Yes.
Palace.
Brighton.
Yeah,
Because-
Sunderland.
Because remember,
Sunderland can win against Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace just need to be safe in EPL, and their focus is the Conference League,
But what
which
really,
they are likely to
what
lift.
really happened to
Brighton
Chelsea?
are also in good form.
What really happened to
Yeah.
Chelsea? Because this is unbelievable. It is difficult to understand.
Yeah.
But you see, this Welbeck is the same Welbeck
The
who
one that troubles us.
no, he scored in this last minute in our last, because these guys have done a dab on us.
Always
Yeah, they beat you
does.
3-1
Yeah.
at Stamford Bridge.
And that time Chelsea
So-
was in a better form anyway than even last night.
They cannot.
And you
They
were
cannot.
still beaten.
They cannot. They cannot play Delap. If you play Delap, you will always. It's a guarantee loss, because it is one of the most stupid things. We have a really dumb goalkeeper. We have a really dumb coach. We have a really dumb person, attacking. So you have a dumb person on the touchline. You have a dumb person between the sticks. You have a dumb person that is supposed to go after the 2 sticks ahead of you. It is dumb. You understand? Even Lavia, who used to be a very good player some games before, was playing like a child yesterday. And I'm like, okay, Cucurella is taking the ball. If you look behind, there is somebody who doesn't even have the ball. Then he forces a pass between 3 Brighton players. It was unbelievable. Then at some point they all went as if they were looking for, and Maurice was saying that they are committing every man
Yeah.
to a cross that they're not going to make.
And then when they miss it, they're in trouble.
In trouble.
Yes, because I was like yesterday when I was crashing the car, they
But again, you look at the team. Who are the leaders?
Zekiro, you seriously crashed the car.
I almost crashed. Bungo was crying because I lost the road.
Because of the game.
No, you were watching, and it's very bad, very illegal.
It's very legal. Actually, scratch that.
It was very legal.
Yo.
Yeah, it was very legal. And
Oh, my
forget
goodness.
about Chelsea. We have to go to a proper team.
So the goal by Welbeck, the one that
I did not
the
watch that
keeper-
one.
the
I
keeper-
stopped watching.
It was 2 touches and then goal, because the keeper cleared the ball, and then the winger got it in, and Welbeck put it through. 2 touches from keeper, winger,
3
goal.
touches, actually. I think those are 3.
And where was Chelsea?
So those they allowed the cross, and no one was in the box to mark.
So they need to have somebody else play up front. Somebody who can make a decision and score.
And I think that's where you're missing Pedro, because that's the player that can step into that role, because you don't have.
But even
any
Chalobah
other-
was looking like a street boy yesterday.
But Chalobah hasn't started most of the recent matches.
He has been injured.
That was his first start in a while.
He was so
But
bad.
you look at the Chelsea. Who is the captain of that team?
Somebody who doesn't want to be in that team.
Who should? Because when you look
He
at
doesn't even speak English.
when you look at by the
Who?
Yes.
Who doesn't
Enzo
speak
does not
English?
speak English.
Really?
No.
But that's only because James is injured, right?
But how long is James going to be injured?
But that
I mean,
has
how
been-
many times
that
this
has
is-
been his situation. And let me tell you, the way Chelsea are playing, he's not getting well anytime soon. Because I think some of these players also normally use injury to avoid being blamed on the pitch. So they don't heal faster to come back akwe lawama.
Ah,
Yeah.
let's forget about Chelsea.
You see? But
Don't
tonight,
forget about them. They are
tonight-
useless.
Tonight, Jagero, there's a very interesting
Useless.
match between position 2 and position 19.
And the Man City versus Burnley.
Man City versus.
Your new team.
I'm just
They're
receiving a
taking on
news.
Burnley.
I'm just seeing a news here that Chelsea are considering internally on Liam Ressenio's situation. Continue or sack him.
No,
Yeah, but you
what is he
see-
continuing for?
But you
What is
see,
he continuing
But
for?
you see, the moment Chelsea are considering, it is as good as
You
done.
cannot,
They
the
don't.
problem with Chelsea, these guys come and find a very stable Chelsea. What do? The first thing is to kick
They
out
mess it up.
the current English coach.
And that's what we
That's the
normally
first
say.
thing they do.
Tuchel, yeah.
Don't
Yes.
interfere with what's working.
You see?
Yeah.
And then after that, they have the very bad coaches around the for some Pochettino's, Lampard. Lampard was the worst. Lampard was such a bad coach. I have never seen. Then he goes to the grass and brings another team. Watch out, Rudy ata Rudy na hiyo Coventry yake.
Yeah.
Do you have a feel? Do you really think that Lampard is a coach?
Lampard is a coach.
He's not.
There's a season.
He's like this one, the yapping all the time after Manchester United loses a game. What is his name?
But did you see the position that he picked Coventry from to bring them to the
I have
top?
a feeling that's a streak
Yeah?
of
Took
luck.
Chelsea to the Champions League in 2020 or 2019 when you didn't even sign any player.
Come on.
You still managed to take that team to the Champions League,
Come
finishing
on.
fourth.
Look at look. I mean,
maybe
look.
for this
I am looking
point,
at the.
Jagero,
I'm looking at the tablet, and this is what I see. What a shame. I see this gentleman that used to be our midfield maestro. I want to show you that guy. Let look at that guy. Our used to be a. Then you will remember what.
Matic.
Then the other day I was seeing Osimhen, the Nigerian,
Obikel.
what is his name? Obikel, and Drogba, and I was like, okay, we used to have Chelsea. Now what are we having? They are all going to podcast.
Can you compare Enzo and John Terry in terms of captaincy?
No,
Very different
forget
levels.
about Enzo. He's a racist Argentinian, killed blacks. Don't talk about him where people are.
Yeah, but Jagero, I have a problem with that statement you've just made.
Which one?
Because when we were making noise about Vinny Jr. and the guy who made racist comments, and this same guy was also Argentinian, that day you were not supporting that claim.
No, I don't
But
like. I
today you are-
don't like Junior.
What we are saying is,
I don't-
when it comes to racism, let's call it out irrespective of the victim.
You see,
You cannot say that when it is racism to this person, oh, that one is bad. But when it is racism to this
the
person,
problem, the,
oh,
pro-
that
the problem
player
with
is a
Real, the problem with Real Madrid players, they think they own football. They don't own football. That's my problem with them. And I know you're a supporter of Real Madrid, but every
No, I
time.
have a soft spot for Real
But
Madrid.
Yes, but you
That's
see
one
now the
difference in
problem with Vinicius Junior, Mbappe's and the Mbappes of this world is that they have no respect for anybody. They do not respect their coaches. They do not respect ball boys. They do not respect referees. They do not respect anybody, and that is
So-
why anybody can say anything to them.
But that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
The bigger
Bottom
the
line.
bigger picture is that people, racism should not be should not be allowed in football. But somebody like even Mourinho asked, why always you?
Yeah, but I don't agree with Mourinho's comments. We can do that another day. Give me your predictions about Manchester City and Burnley tonight.
Burnley to state it very clearly, Burnley is going to have a hard time because they are coming against a machine
Man
that
City
has
at home,
that has
right?
A
smelt blood.
well-oiled machine.
That has smelt blood. And they know. If you want to know that Manchester City has seen the finishing line, look at Haaland at the whistle, 90th
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Against
Look at him roaming the field.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
He was
You could feel the passion.
yes, he was
Yeah.
roaming.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of teams that somebody like me needs to go and support. People who have a roar.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't be like Jagero, that when your team is not doing well, you run away. Stick with your team.
People,
Through thick and thin.
No, why?
Loyalty.
That makes
Why?
you
Why?
a true fan.
Loyalty for a team doesn't
You
take
can
you
be
to heaven.
counted. So Burnley are going to suffer tonight. That's for sure.
But they could actually play. You would be surprised that game.
It's not going to be that close.
Yeah.
Because we have two things that are likely to happen tonight. That Burnley will have an R against their name, and also Man City would be position 1.
Relegated.
Yes.
If they lose tonight.
Because after tonight, they are not. If they lose tonight, they will not be able to achieve enough points to move above.
It is
relegation
very
zone.
interesting that the gentleman that is doing so well at Bayern Munich is the same coach that actually relegated Burnley last time. Then they come back up.
I know.
And now
Like
he's
literally,
And
Vincent Kompany, I don't understand how he's done what he's done at Bayern. I was like, wow. But that was also very bold of
But you
Bayern.
need to know where he's
I was
coming
reading
from.
something about his appointment.
You need to know where he's coming from. He's been under the tutelage of the best.
So
In Pep Guardiola.
That is some guy that teaches you how. In fact, when you come out of Pep Guardiola from when Pep Guardiola releases you,
Yeah.
you are going away with 2 things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you are going away with number 1, discipline.
yeah.
Okay. Number 2, you are going away with strategy.
Strategy.
And number 3, you are going away with tactics.
Yeah.
You know, you have understood football. You have understood what everybody needs to do. Because I think when Pep is teaching you football, it is like everybody needs to communicate.
Yeah.
It's a communication of 11 players.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just you as a striker,
Yes.
like Dilap. I don't know what is being taught. And there is a complete lack of disconnect
Yeah.
between Dilap and the midfielders.
Yeah.
There's a complete disconnect between the goalkeeper
Yeah.
and the defenders. A
Yeah.
complete collapse.
Yeah.
So, but I think that when you are in Man, even if you read many people that have spoken about Guardiola,
Yeah.
it's that it's a play of 11 players.
Yes.
You know, there is no individual brilliance.
There's no individual brilliance.
If it shows very little.
Yeah.
But you can actually predict and see how City is playing.
Yes.
Everybody is looking. It is Peter is looking at what Jaguero is doing, and
Yeah.
he knows how to position himself.
Yes.
Beatrice, how she is moving,
Yeah.
and what the winger should do.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
You see,
And
so
where he should
And when
be.
this player has the ball, where do I go next?
yes.
Where he should be.
And so, even if you are a striker, you come from Pep Guardiola's academy,
Yeah.
you can actually talk about defending.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
You see, so that is what when you see company, that's
Yeah.
a product of Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
When you see the Arsenal
Arteta.
is when you see the other one that was kicked out.
Javi
Yeah.
Hernandez.
Javi Hernandez. If you look at the one that
Xabi Alonso.
that was kicked out of Chelsea the other day,
Yes.
what is his name?
Maresca.
Maresca.
Those are people who you can see that they are playing football. Lakini hao vijana wenye wanakuvaa miwani kama Peter.
By the way, I was having a conversation. I was having with a conversation with a colleague of mine today. He's a Chelsea fan, and he was telling me that actually Maresca is the one who wanted to leave. And the club even spent a whole week trying to convince him that he should not leave.
Why did he want to
But
leave?
apparently, he's got his eyes on Manchester City
No.
if Pep Guardiola was to leave. So I don't know how true that is.
don't agree.
But he could actually go to Manchester. He
think
could
the
actually
problem-
jump from Chelsea to Manchester United City.
The problem that maybe I might have contributed to
Yeah.
Maresca wanting to leave is the same problem Tuchel left. The same reason why Pochettino couldn't perform.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is these owners, they kind of have influence in the team that they're not supposed to have influence on. And managers feel like, let me do my job.
Yeah.
You
Look for the money. At least look
Yeah,
for a shirt sponsor. It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You can't get that one, but you want people to. You know how people should score.
Yeah.
And you can't get a shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
So there is a biggest problem, I think. Even if they bring they sack Maresca, Liam, and bring another manager,
Yeah.
that manager, if he's ambitious manager, is going to have the same problem. Because as a manager, I'm sure you want a team that
Because Tuchel could not tell them anything.
Yeah.
Lampard could not tell them anything.
Yeah.
Maresca could not tell them anything.
Yeah.
Sasa huyu kijana ndo atawaambia kitu. Huyu mwenye
He
ajijui.
doesn't
And
even
every
look
manager-
like
every
he
manager
has,
wants a
he has the
competitor.
balls to demand things.
It's very bad.
Anyway, we have Morris online. He's saying that he'd like to contribute to this conversation. So, Morris, this is your opportunity. How did you see the game last night?
You wanna put it like this.
As you
Very good.
rightfully explained and judged that Brighton would dismantle Chelsea. Like that.
Yeah.
As rightfully said,
Morris,
no short of
they
tactics.
tell me that is witchcraft. Yet I just look at facts and predict what's going to happen.
Unfortunately, I'm starting to think Chelsea fans are also like Arsenal fans. They do not follow facts. They do not see facts.
No, but I had no problem at all with Chelsea being beaten last night. I did not disagree at all. I mean, Morris needs to.
You said you don't know how it will go.
There is respect amongst fans, but there is also appreciation of what the other fans said. I mean, you can.
Brighton outclassed Chelsea in every department. I think the only thing that Chelsea was good was the keeper, actually. For the first time, I can say the Chelsea keeper actually saved the day. Because they probably could have been maybe 5 or 6 goals.
But if you are going to say that the Chelsea keeper saved the day, then how bad was Chelsea?
That's how bad it was. How bad it was.
How can you say that?
Player yesterday.
Wow, very interesting. So, Morris, the other thing we are talking about is tonight's game and the prediction. And I was just stating that 2 things can happen tonight. That Arsenal will drop to position 2, and Burnley
probability.
and Burnley would have an R against their name after tonight.
Yeah, which I think will be the case.
Aha.
I agree with you on that because I don't think the way Man City played against Arsenal, if they play like that against Burnley, they will dismantle Burnley. And as Chegero said, how Haaland was after the Arsenal win, he's there out, walking like that. That is a man who has smelled blood. There's no stopping that. I just don't know how Burnley can do it. If Arsenal couldn't do it, Burnley for sure cannot do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What becomes of Arteta if this goes down badly for Arteta?
I beg your pardon, sorry?
What becomes of Arteta if this goes down badly for him?
I think Arsenal might consider changing him. I think right now, I don't know how he can convince the board to the promised land, because it's now 3 seasons or 4 seasons now whereby he's got them to very good start.
The second position, yeah.
At this particular point, they'll be at that point saying, okay, thank you for what you've done for us, but if you are really keen on winning trophies, you need someone different. Maybe Xavi might come in.
But that could also go very wrong, where now they're no longer even competing for position 2 and Champions League, and they start dropping further down.
It's possible, but as we were discussing this last time, how do you keep your best players motivated? Because how would you keep the back two, Gabriel
and Saliba. Yeah.
How do you keep the midfield players feeling motivated to go again next season? They've been doing it 3 seasons in a row now.
Yeah.
It's not working out.
Yeah.
So I think it's a catch-22. It's a difficult one because do you keep the manager? Do you change him? Who do you bring? So I think it'll be a very difficult situation for Arsenal. But I think they might consider changing him. Or rather, if they get someone who's good enough in the market, they might change him.
And perhaps they're looking at a case like Harry Kane, who was able to make a change and now having a time of his life.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's one of the best players right now, one of the best strikers. He was even when he was at Spurs, but now there's no doubt.
Yeah.
He's scoring so many goals. He's assisting the team play better.
Yeah.
He's winning trophies. Even right now, I think Bayern are the favorites to win the Champions League.
Okay. The Arsenal fan is not in the room, otherwise you'd be in trouble. But talking about coaches, because that is also one of the conversations we wanted to have this evening. You've mentioned Arsenal looking elsewhere. What would be their options in the market today?
I'll probably go for Xavi Alonso because I think they also want to go for someone who has managed a big club. I don't think they would risk it for. So, number one option, of course, would be Xavi Alonso. A low hanging fruit would be Andoni Raiola because he's someone who has played with Arteta in Spain. So I think that's someone who would easily would be an easy plug and play.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd say for either of those two. Because
Peter, what do you think?
Yeah.
You're the person who's done quite a number of analysis on coaches. What do you think about these options?
Xavi Alonso. There are so many. This summer is going. There are going to be so many managers in the market. Andoni Raiola, Julian Nagelsmann, Xabi Alonso still in the market. Xavi Hernandez still in the market.
Yeah.
So, but as you said, I think Xabi Alonso will quite be a good fit for Arsenal. Though we can't guarantee he will be an upgrade.
Okay.
To what Arteta can do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the risk we have to work with.
It's a risk because they are almost the same pedigree in terms of experience.
Yeah.
At
True.
the highest level.
True.
They've coached almost the same number.
True.
Actually, there's another manager that I think might be a surprise choice, and this is Cesc Fabregas. If you guys saw if you've been watching how Como are playing some ridiculous
But they've
football.
lost the last 2 matches.
Yeah, but even the last game they lost, it was against Inter Milan, and they gave Inter Milan a run for their money. If you look at the squad value versus Inter Milan and Como,
Yeah.
the style of play,
Yeah.
Inter Milan really, like, they had to win it the last minutes. Like, they had to come back. The game was not an easy one. So, give Fabregas the kind of squad that Arsenal has. He can do madness. Because I think Arsenal might want to go with someone like that who's dear to the fans,
Yeah.
who understands the system, who's playing a similar kind of football.
Yeah.
Because the other options that I'm seeing here is Maximiliano Allegri, who I don't think they'd want to do that. Antonio Conte, no. So I think Cesc Fabregas would actually be a good option.
Okay. Peter, what are the options you've come up with for Manchester United?
Man United.
I know your number one is Luis Enrique.
Yeah.
But that depends on whether he wants to stay at PSG or not.
But I have a feeling that as the way things are going, I think we have to admit that Carrick is a favorite for the position. If Man United qualifies for the Champions League, which is, I think, 2 games away from achieving that.
Yeah.
But we can't guarantee that it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
There are some coaches on the list who have been kind of being considered. And one of them is Julian Nagelsmann, the German national team coach.
But how do you think a coach coming from coaching a national team would quickly adapt to a club that plays week in, week out?
That brings us to the disadvantage that we have with Julian. That by the time Man United will be playing their first preseason, will still be with Germany.
Exactly, because of the World Cup. Yeah.
But I feel that if is the one the club have chosen to be the next manager, they can come up with some level of agreement with Germany to sort that out. I don't think that can be a big obstacle.
But would you think that if Germany progresses in the World Cup, he would actually leave them and come out to do pre-season?
I think
that
they can come to a gentleman agreement. Say, okay, you just do the nini at the same time as you try to coordinate things here and there.
That's a very interesting.
But that is the disadvantage you have with Julian Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique is almost signing another contract at PSG.
It's on the table
till 2030. 30 or 31. So that is the biggest obstacle. I don't know, though he's not yet signed.
Yes.
Meaning there's still Karum, but I'm not sure if United are ready to attack and go after him.
Okay.
And then we also have the recent current Bournemouth manager, Andoni Iraola, who is leaving. I think
that one is rumored to want to go to La Liga or something.
No, the La Liga job is already taken by Edin Terzic. I think the Dortmund manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the one going to Athletic Bilbao.
Okay.
So Andoni Iraola is not confirmed where he's going to be next season. So it is one of the options in the list that we need to.
But we don't have the kind of players that Bournemouth has.
We have better quality than Bournemouth.
No. You see, there's having big players, and then there's having a team where everyone is average and they give sweat and blood
So
every
player
time.
for player profile, in terms of player profiling, when you compare Bournemouth and United, it's expected that even when we were discussing about company, that is the difference. For example, in company space between coaching Burnley and coaching Bayern Munich. So you can't say entirely that he's doing well with Bournemouth, he's going to flop at United because...
Yeah, but also the pressure at Bournemouth is not the pressure at United.
That is the risk with all the managers we have.
Yeah.
Because majority of them basically have not coached maybe in the Premier League, like Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. They have not coached in the Premier League. So there's also that level of risk that comes with them, that they don't have the Premier League experience.
Yeah.
And Donny Raiola has the Premier League experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the advantage he has over the two.
Jaguero, even though you are leaving your team, Maurice Jaguero has decided to change allegiance.
I don't blame him.
Even though you are leaving your
Very bad
team,
football.
if Chelsea was to get in a coach to take them to the end of the season, what's your dream coach?
You see, that question is moot when you consider where that coach is coming to. I can tell you for sure, if you were to brought the Barcelona coach to Chelsea right now, he will leave in the next 2 months.
Hansi Flick.
Yes, he will leave. Let me put it differently. If you bring a serious coach right now to Chelsea, they will not stay.
They will stay.
Because they don't want to put their name on a failing project.
Yeah.
So the owners of Chelsea have to first understand that they are not footballers and they are not coaches.
Yeah.
There is the business part of football that a proper coach would not do. But then the business of football is left to footballers and people that have studied football.
Yes.
But then if, for example, imagine telling Hansi Flick that you are not going to start that striker.
Yeah, you're not going to start Joao Pedro.
You are not going to agree.
Yeah.
And he's going
Who
to
is
tell
the
you.
coach here?
And at the moment, a lot of people, coaches talk.
Yeah.
And coaches also have people that they are, what is it called? The people that actually give them the job, what is it called?
agents.
Their agent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The agents know all
Yeah.
these people because, for example, if you take anybody's agent right now, they have got players in Chelsea.
Yes.
And Chelsea players are talking to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they know all that is happening at those clubs.
Yes.
They know that these guys are very difficult. And if you have Hansi Flick and you have Hansi Flick's agent, the agent first of all does not want his coach to be relegated with a team.
Yeah.
Number one,
That's bad for
the
business.
coach does not want the same to happen.
Yeah.
So you have a problem with two people when you are trying to hire. If you are dubious as an owner, you have a problem with the coach. You have a problem with the agent. You have you have a problem with the players.
Yeah.
They're not going to come. You have ruined your club. They're not playing in the Champions League. They're not playing in the Conference League.
Yeah.
They're not playing in the Europa League.
Yes.
So you've already ruined your club.
And worse,
Yes.
you cannot even attract good players.
Yes.
Because that's a problem we face.
Yeah. So they are not coming. First of all.
Yes.
And also there are also.
And the few good ones you have are likely to go elsewhere.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so I think Chelsea, even before you start talking about coaches that are coming to Chelsea, because they are going to look at that house and see how messy it is, and saying, I'm going to try to clean this thing, but this guy is basically going to bring in clutter from outside and
Absolutely.
and put him in the house that I have.
Also,
Absolutely.
an obstacle that Chelsea has is the long contracts of players.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
Like
tell-
all those 8-year-olds who are being given 13-year contracts,
Let's say-
14, 10.
Oh,
Let's say you bring Hansi Flick.
Yes.
Caicedo is not a Hansi Flick kind of player, for example.
Yeah.
How is he going to move on?
the tractor.
Caicedo, for example.
The track, he can't turn. He can hack people down, but he can't turn.
And in the process, probably get another
So
card.
so now I would say go get the former Bayer Leverkusen coach. He's our best because he knows how to work with those young people. Okay?
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso, but he's going to think about
But
the employer.
Would he be interested in going to Chelsea?
He could. Chelsea is a big name. Let's not run away from that. You know that the people that actually took away your cheese was Chelsea in the Premier League. Which team was dominating after Manchester United? It was Chelsea.
Yeah, there are years that they were
Yeah.
intense.
So it is us who took your cheese. And now when we are talking about big teams in Europe, when you come to Premier League, which are they? They are Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United. Manchester United is no longer talked about.
Manchester United is still top
Have some
6.
respect, bwana.
Deal with it.
Okay, but Chelsea comes easily top 3.
Jagero,
I mean, in the last,
I see what you've done there.
let's talk about.
I see what
let's
you've
talk
done
about.
there.
Let's talk about in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, Chelsea would basically be top 3. In the last 10 years, Chelsea is top 3, and Morris will tell you. If he's an honest man like Gashago, he will tell you.
Morris, are you a truthful man?
I'm a truthful man. Please. Me and Gashago have one thing in common. We are truthful men.
Hey.
Well, let me give the Chelsea man some wisdom.
Okay.
Manchester United is a very dangerous team. It's a big team.
Okay.
Right now, we are going back to Champions League football. We are playing beautiful football, and we just need. I think you guys spoke about.
I think the definition of beautiful has changed.
Morris, I don't know if you heard that. Jagero is saying that the definition of beautiful probably has changed.
Well, even if it has changed, it's definitely not what Chelsea is doing. What they are doing is
Yeah, that's agreed.
For sure.
That's agreed upon. Let's not belabor points. Let's not belabor all these points. We have agreed that Chelsea is bad and out. Bad and out. Yeah, but it is a big club, and anybody coming to any coach right now coming to the Premier League is looking at Manchester United. Let's say that so that you can feel good about it. It's looking at Manchester City. It's looking at Liverpool. It's looking at Arsenal. It's looking at Chelsea. Yeah, those are the teams that they are looking at.
Jagero, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Chelsea have a transfer ban, so meaning that you're not able to sign new players.
It is suspended though.
To get any players, it's suspended. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's suspended
That's
for
the
2
only good
years.
thing about them.
So it becomes in effect after 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But I think with the level of control that the owners of Chelsea have over any manager, I don't think any manager would want to come to Chelsea.
And why should I remain there as a fan?
Yeah, you won't have that freedom to make.
Why
your
should
own
I remain
choices.
there as a fan? Ask Morris for me.
Morris, Jagero is wondering why should he remain there as a fan with all these things unfolding right before him?
You die with a team, like for us.
Exactly.
We come by our team.
Thank you.
Under Ten Hag, when we suffered.
We have
But this guy took off from Manchester United. He was never. He's not watching. He was not watching when Amorim was the coach.
You can stop watching, but you've not stopped supporting the team. You don't change your allegiance. Those are two different.
So you go to the up and peep.
And you just like, okay.
I saw a joke saying for any single ladies out there, date a Manchester United fan, because one thing you're sure of is they're loyal.
That used to be Arsenal though. That used to be Arsenal though.
Even now, I think we have taken over the mantle of being loyal fans.
Hey.
Anyway, gentlemen, we have another match tonight.
Yes.
Leeds is taking on. Leeds is taking on.
Let me check.
And
for
Leeds
you.
is away in this one, so I'm curious to see. Leeds is taking on Bournemouth.
Yeah, a beautiful game.
And
Worthy of watching.
For me, this is a very well balanced match.
But we have to watch. We have to. We have to watch both of them at the same time.
Because it would be interesting to do that.
But this other game does not affect this other game.
It doesn't affect. But this one is a very well balanced.
It
would be a beautiful game to watch.
It is the game that you need to watch. You can just peep and see. Look at
how many scores by now.
Yeah,
for the other one.
But this one is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
This is the game that is going to be really nice, end to end.
Morris, how do you think this one is going to go? Bournemouth Leeds.
I am giving it to Bournemouth myself.
It will be a very interesting game. I think we'll watch. Actually,
He's
if
a
anyone wants to
Bournemouth
watch football
fan,
today,
so
just watch
he's gonna
this game.
support Bournemouth.
The Man City Burnley game is it will be one-way traffic.
Yeah.
But at least the Bournemouth Leeds game will have a little bit of football. You know, you'll enjoy to see both
Yeah.
teams going at each other.
Yeah.
I think Bournemouth will have the quality to win it.
It's a Bournemouth fan.
Maybe like a 2-1, maybe like a 3-2. Like for sure, there will be entertainment in this game because Bournemouth are unbeaten in 13 games.
Yeah.
Oh my
Also,
goodness.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go
are
to
unbeaten in
Bournemouth.
the last 6 matches across all competitions.
Their coach
But I
is
think
leaving,
Bournemouth-
so you don't know.
Yeah, Bournemouth will win this.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think we have done justice to this one. We always sometimes agree to disagree. Like, I do not agree with Jaguero moving to the next team that is doing well.
You should stick there and
you
suffer there.
stick with your team
And
through
suffer.
thick and thin. That is the true essence of a football fan. But thank you for watching this with us, and we shall be back with the next one. Until then, thank you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others crawl, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.